Are you surprised at who's leading this month? Let's have a look at the Irvine and Kilwinning property market race. Across Irvine Landlords KA11, Irvine Seawood KA12 and Kilwinning area KA13, we've got three different stories for you this month. We've got one area showing super high demand, one area offering buyers a lot more choice, and the last area is holding steady. So who are you backing? If you're thinking about selling, buying, investing or becoming a landlord in North Ayrshire, this is a story you need to check out. Table shows the key data points across all three sectors for last month. Now who's winning the race is obvious, isn't it? The top three, it's the highest number. Kilwinning for available stock. We've got Irvine Landlord just ahead in new instructions, and we've got sales agreed Irvine Seawood 24. Apart from days in the market, when it's the quickest, 69. That's right, isn't it? Or is it? I think it depends on who you are. Are you a seller? Are you a buyer? Or are you both? So let's think about it. Available stock, Kilwinning sitting at 94 units available right across the sector for that month. Who does that help more? That helps buyers more. More stock means more options. For sellers, more stock means more competition. If we look at new instructions, the leader is KA11 Irvine Landlord, 34 units. Again, that means more options for buyers, more competition for sellers. If you're a seller, you would rather see the lower number, so they would be the winner. Same again for sales agreed. A high number helps sellers because it means that there's more urgency and less competition, which means less choice for buyers and more urgency to get a deal. And days on the market, we've got two sections drawn here at 69 days, but that's 77 days in Irvine Landlord means that buyers have less urgency and more time to make the choices and more properties that they could potentially view. Now, the numbers alone don't paint the picture, because personally I think it depends on you as a person and what situation you're in, and every situation is unique. These numbers just help you make the decision, is it a right time to buy? Is it the right time to sell for you? Now, I think we can generally agree that broadly these numbers are very close. These markets are quite close in comparison to each other, and there's no standout clear winner here. What I would personally like to see is more stock coming to the market. I think the market can cope with a wee bit more stock, and I'd like to see a wee bit more competition. So let's move over to Irvine. Looking at the numbers, Irvine remains very healthy market overall. Across KA11 and KA12, we're still seeing strong levels of buyer activity, but there are some interesting differences between the two areas. KA12 still continues to show particularly strong demand, with relatively low stock levels and the highest number of sales agreed. That's generally good news for sellers. KA11 is slightly more balanced. There's still plenty of activity, but buyers have a little more choice and a little more breathing room. What we're not seeing is a market that's grinding to a halt. Good homes are still selling. The difference now is that buyers are becoming more selective. Presentation matters, photography matters, pricing strategy matters, and the homes that are getting those things right are still attracting strong competition. Now let's look at Kilwinning. What's interesting here is that Kilwinning is giving buyers more choice than either KA11 or KA12. Available stock remains higher, which naturally creates more competition between sellers, but that's not necessarily bad news. For buyers and investors, it can create opportunities. There's often more room for negotiation and a wider range of properties to choose from. Kilwinning continues to appeal to first-time buyers, investors and families looking for good value compared to some neighbouring areas. So while Irvine may currently have stronger demand, Kilwinning still represents a very important part of the North Ayrshire market overall. So what does this all mean if you're thinking about selling? The biggest mistake I see right now is sellers focusing on yesterday's market. Don't chase yesterday's prices, but equally, don't panic. The reality is that good homes are still selling very well. Your first couple of weeks on the market are incredibly important. That's when buyers are paying the most attention. That's when your property feels fresh to the market, and that's when you want maximum momentum. The gap between a good launch and a poor launch is becoming much bigger. Getting the home report, pricing, photography, and marketing strategy right from day one really matters. One topic that keeps coming up is landlords selling. And yes, some landlords are absolutely exiting the market. We're helping a number of them do exactly that. But at the same time, we're still seeing investors actively buying. In fact, several of our recent sales have involved investor purchases. So the headlines don't always tell the full story. Some landlords are reducing portfolios, others are expanding them. What matters is whether the numbers work for the individual investor. Rental demand across North Ayrshire remains extremely strong. We still have tenants reaching out to us daily, looking for family homes, 1 and 2 bedroom flats, and properties close to transport links and schools. Demand is there, supply remains relatively tight. As we move further into summer, I expect we'll continue to see more stock come into the market. That will create more competition between sellers. At the same time, buyer demand still remains reasonably healthy. Mortgage rates are still mortgage rates are still a talking point, but buyers are adapting to the market we're in today. Overall, I don't see a market that's slowing dramatically. I see a market that's becoming more selective. The opportunities are still there. Strategy just remains more important than it did a few years ago. So who's winning the Irvine and Kilwinning property race this month? Honestly, it depends what race you're running. If you're selling, KA12 probably looks very attractive. If you're buying, Kilwinning might offer some excellent opportunities. And if you're in KA11, you're sitting in a remarkably balanced market. If you're thinking about selling, buying, investing, or becoming a landlord and would like some honest advice based on what's actually happening locally, we'd be delighted to help. You can also read the full Irvine and Kilwinning property market update on our website. I'm Brian McLemon from Be Listed. Thank you very much for watching.